Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your December 2024 tarot card reading. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder that I do have 2025 year ahead overview sessions available for booking. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to sit down with me one-on-one, we'll talk about the astrology that you'll be experiencing this year. We'll pull out tarot cards to give you a general theme for each month of the year. We've got Annie on the table today. So if you guys want to do that, please feel free to check it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started for December. December 2024. What is it that Cancer needs to know? Starting with a card that says Voyage. It kind of feels like there is a launch with this card, that something is launching or initiating, kind of a big one, because we wouldn't really use the word voyage unless there was something kind of grand happening. So maybe there are some life choices and life decisions that you're making or preparing for. I'm not suggesting that everything is going to be happening in, there she goes, that's happening in December, but you might be preparing for something and getting everything in line and getting everything ready for something pretty important in your life. Maybe there's a whole new chapter opening up, especially with Pluto coming into your 8th house. There's going to be a lot of change, and maybe you can feel that and you know that you're on the precipice of a lot of this change. And seems like a really great time to kind of think about what it is you're going to need, you know? We have opened infinite possibilities with the starfish spirit. You know, this is not a good time for Cancer to get very locked into ideas of the way things are supposed to look, because chances are, like again, Eva, I've talked a lot about preparation. You can prepare all day long, but we know how the divine works, right? We know that there are people, places, things that happen, right, that come into our lives, and they sort of change the game. So yes, we can prepare, and yes, we can be as ready as possible, but I also don't want to see you so locked in and thinking that you have all this control, because you don't. And I think you're going to have to relinquish a lot of that, at least desire for control anyway. And the less you are, I don't know how to say this, like the less you grip, the less you hold on, the more likely you are to see different ways of being that are going to be better, that will be more lucrative, more profitable, more happy, I guess we could say. So there does seem to be kind of a shift in your approach to things. But I don't know, this one does feel like a long haul, like you're in something for the long haul with the voyage. So kind of think about things, now's a good time to think about things in the long term rather than short term. Okay, so as you are planning for things financially and you are talking to people and having conversations, you are going to want to sit down and say, okay, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what is it that we're really trying to do? What is it we're really trying to build? And do what you can. This is only a monthly reading, so I'm not suggesting that you're going to get all prepared all only in 1 month, but do what you can to prepare for the launch, okay? All right, Cancer, what else? All right, I'm really loving the two queens looking at one another here, because it does feel like there's some kind of rapport or conversation or an energetic exchange. Maybe there's some kind of a deal that's happening. What's interesting is how different these two qualities are. I like that we're getting air and earth with the swords and the coin, because to me, the place where these two things meet is in the realm of logic and practicality, where the Queen of Swords is, I don't know, she really wants to walk that straight and narrow line. She wants to walk the path that is right and good and ultimately for the best. And she will take her time, right? This is a Libran energy, so it's going to oscillate back and forth. But she wants to take her time when she makes decisions. She is going to want to analyze evidence, look at the pros and cons, do her research to try to come up with all of the unintended consequences, right? So if I do this, I can expect this, but what about these other things that might also happen, right? So she's going to go through all these different scenarios. However, I don't mind that all that much because I think this is just preparation, right? Now, the Queen of Coins also feels very practical, but I think she's going to go through things in more of a micromanagement type of way. Not so much like big picture, what is it that we need to, think about, but like, what do we do? So how do I plan for this financially? How do I set money aside? How do I go about putting out these job resumes? And how do I go about doing this? And she's more action oriented. How can I actually do this stuff? Okay, so there might be a bit of a disconnect in terms of what you're prioritizing, but as long as the goal is the same, it's going to probably work out pretty well because I like the exchange and I like the back and forth between these two energies. So if you're dealing with someone, you're working with someone, a client, a partner, whatever, again, like you're coming at this so differently, Cancer, and the things that you're worried about are very different, but the end game is the same. The reason why I like Temperance is simply because there's no drama here, okay? There's no heated moments, there's no spikes or valleys of energy. It's just very flat-lined, which means that the two of these energies are certainly working well together, and that there's, a problem-solving mindset coming to the table. Temperance is maybe more of a reallocating energy where you're pouring from one area into another, energy, money, whatever. You're investing in new things. So you're going through some kind of an exchange of some sort. But even here, there's not a lot of emotion that comes through with Temperance either. This is not an emotional card. It's not an emotional time. Temperance is, a very moderate, thinking things through, very disciplined, focused kind of thing, okay? It's almost like a stoic quality, which I'm kind of seeing coming through with both. What I like about the fact that we have two queens is that while there can be a stoic nature to them, they are still leading with the heart, most likely, okay? That again, the intentions are good, and they are also being guided by intuition here. So there is an element of faith that's coming through. So it's not just, let's just go after it all, hard, aggressive, ambitious and all that. It's like, well, we want to do it smart, but we want to do it also to make sure that it's right for us. So Temperance I like. It kind of balances everything, keeps everything cool, calm, collected. Because what you're really looking for here is exactly this Nine of Coins, which is the best possible outcome, right? The most profitable, the most lucrative, all of it. It's let's get ourselves to a place of abundance and prosperity. That's the goal of the two queens. You're not just sitting here chit-chatting about nothing. It's like, well, how do we bring the future forward? How do we step into the future here? And the Nine of Coins, I mean, first of all, there does seem to be a readiness here with this Nine of Coins, because the Nine of Coins is solid, really secure. There's not a lot of instabilities or insecurities. There's a lot of self-respect. So clearly, Cancer, you are operating and making decisions from a self-respecting place. Now, I don't know which one you relate to the most here. It could be either or. It doesn't really matter. You could maybe relate a little bit to both. Maybe this is two sides of you. I don't know. It's probably two people, though, most likely. But you're not in a position or a scenario where you're going to be compromising on your values. You're not going to be compromising on what you believe is going to be in your best interest. There's certainly no compromise here. The question is how can I have the best of this world? How can I have the best of what I want? I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to just accept just anything. Okay, it's got to be something that truly aligns with what I want, and not from a greedy, egoic, selfish thing. Okay, this is more soul driven, so it's more pure. So how can I align more effectively with what is meant for me? All right, so I like the non-compromising aspect of this, simply because why should you? Why should you have to settle? Why should you have to compromise, especially when we're talking about the long term? So if anyone is trying to get you to do something and you can't see it long term, that is not for you. Especially if it's like a romantic interest, or if it's some kind of a job offer, or if it's like some kind of stepping stone, business or whatever. I don't see Cancer going into stepping stone or medium or middle ground places. All right, this is like we're doing the whole thing. We're going on this whole voyage, or we're not launching yet. Okay, we're not going to launch until we're ready to go for this full voyage. Now, I look at this Magician as again, there's a lot of initiating energy right now. And I like that for you because you're a cardinal sign, right? You're the very first season of summer in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, first season of winter in the South. So, you have this initiating quality to you. And I like that with the Magician because there does seem to be some sparks that are, inspiring. You get new ideas, you get new desires, you get certain, I guess we could call them downloads, right? Little information that you're going to need, especially like if you are in this Queen of Swords position where you're trying to analyze all the pros and cons. And like, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm like, are you packing for a trip? And I know it's like the holiday season, so maybe there's even something going on like more literally. Maybe it's not even all that metaphorical for some of you, but it's more literally. But like, let's keep this very basic and say it's just holiday travels. I would say maybe start packing and getting ready and planning for gifts and all that a little bit as early as you can. I certainly would not procrastinate here, because there might be new little things that kind of come to you and you're like, oh yeah, I should pack that, or oh yeah, I need to book this, or oh, I need to get tickets for that, or oh, I need to buy that, or oh, And so in order to have the most successful voyage or the most successful launch, you're going to want to be open to all these things that the Magician is helping you, it's helping you download, I guess we could say. I'm also seeing a really pensive, thought-provoking quality coming from the Hermit. So, there might be a moment throughout the course of the month where you're just really deep in thought. And this might be where you're kind of inviting the Magician energy in, saying, okay, universe, spirit, God, what else? What am I not thinking about? What am I not considering? What have I not taken into account? What have I not planned for? It's all very open. Again, open to infinite possibilities. It's all very open. Universe, show me, guide me, teach me. Like, I'm open. Let me receive. And with the two queens, we know that the feminine energy is highly receptive. That's what the feminine does. It receives. And so we want to kind of open up that more feminine channel here. And the Hermit thinks. And he analyzes, and he tries to see everything from every angle. And he tries to come to conclusions. I'll be honest with you, though, there might not be all that much action for you this month. This might be kind of like a pending phase with this Hermit card. Unless we'll see what the bottom row has, like maybe when Capricorn season comes online, end of December, beginning of January, that might change. But maybe for the bulk of December, you're just kind of in this holding pattern as you're in this analysis moment. You're analyzing and you're talking and you're getting feedback and you're working with someone and you're processing everything, okay? Because again, in order to make the most self-respecting decisions, sometimes you are going to need to really sit back and think what is ultimately best. What's best for me? What's best for my family? What's best for my finances? And go down the list with all the things of what's best. Because you need to be in the best position for a voyage. Okay, what else? What else, Cancer? What else do you need to know here? For the month of December, we have okay. So here we have the Five of Swords. Well, I actually want to start with the Four of Wands. I like that this is in the most stable foundational position, the middle bottom, where it really supports the rest of the reading, because it really speaks to your security. And I think that's always an important thing for Cancer, is to know that you are secure and you are safe. You know, that there aren't any threats to, you know, your living situation or your finances or anything like that. Four of Wands is also, you know, quite celebratory and festive. So this is a, you know, just a reminder of go out and have fun too. You know, it doesn't have to be also serious all the time. This is fun. It's festive. It's engaging. You're with people you love. It's laughter. It's celebration, holidays, all that kind of stuff. So this is just kind of saying that you might need a little bit of a break to just enjoy your life a little bit. That all of this, I mean, I'm not saying you're not taking it seriously, but maybe it doesn't have to be so serious. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at this Five of Cups here, and it does look very serious. And maybe there is something that you have to let go of, you have to release, that's hard. You know, the Five of Swords is not easy. There's sometimes sorrow or regrets or saying goodbye to things of the past. But there's always a bright new future here. Sometimes when we take a voyage, there are sacrifices that need to be made. There are, I don't know, to me this feels like you're actually feeling, like, I don't know that you're officially separating from things yet. I'm not seeing the official separation, but I am seeing the emotional separation happening. So physically, maybe there's not. And when I say separation, I mean, you have, like I say, you haven't officially set sail yet. You haven't officially launched. But this might be a little bit nostalgic, which is not normally a word that I use with the Five of Cups. So for those of you who are well versed in tarot, I know you're gonna be like, wait a second, that's not what that card means. It doesn't really normally mean that. But intuitively, I'm feeling a little bit of nostalgia. It's like, wow, I'm preparing and I've been thinking about my future for all this time. And I've been thinking about where I want to go and what I want to build and all these things I want to do. But I haven't really taken time to say goodbye to like what's right in front of me, you know, and what's in my life right now. So I'm feeling like you're kind of, it's like when you're in high school, you know, and it's like the last couple weeks of senior year, and like all of senior year, you've been like, oh, I'm so sick of school. This is the worst. But then you kind of get to that point at the very, very end, like right before finals, right before graduation. And you're like, you know, like I'm ready to start my whole life, but I'm never going to be back here again. And so I think I'm wondering if there's not appreciation for where you are in the face of the goodbye. And with all this like thinking and planning and analyzing and processing and downloads and all this stuff, with all this going on, like maybe you didn't really create all that much space for this, and this is going to creep in. And when that separation gets closer and closer, when it's time for you to really, really let go, you're going to be like, wow, I prepared for everything, but I didn't really prepare for this. Like this has hit me a little bit harder than I was expecting. But you also know that you're ready for this too, and that it's okay and it's safe and it's all fine, but there's an emotional release that's going to need that. Because for some reason, I feel like this is something long-standing. You know, you're going to have to say goodbye to something that's been in your life for a long time. Now, the Five of Swords, it feels like last-minute doubt. And there might be other people involved, not necessarily the queens, okay, but other people that are not growing. They're not evolving in the way you are. And they might, I'm not saying that they're like going to get all involved or you're going to have all this drama or whatever, but they just might kind of sour the experience a little bit. These are probably people that you're not going to spend that much time around. You really don't like to be around them all that much simply because they do sour positive experiences. I certainly don't think Cancer is interested in having their positive life moments ruined by other people's attitudes and other people's opinions. Certainly you're not going to be putting yourself in and that's not a very self-respecting place to be anyway, is to be in a place where, there's that kind of bitterness towards you or jealousy or whatever. And certainly there's no winning in that type of scenario. It's not like you can convince someone of anything. It's just, they're just not available to really hear that anyway. So, I don't like that we're really ending the reading on this, but I feel like this is Capricorn energy coming out. Capricorn, the sun comes in opposite of you. So you have that opposition happening. And you might have to contend with other people. And unfortunately, I don't know that those other people are really ready to see you leave the nest. They're not ready for you to take this voyage yet because it means something, right? The reflection back to them is that, oh, well, Cancer is moving on. Cancer is growing. Cancer is prospering. And I'm not. So that must mean that, for some, like they don't like the fact that they think they don't deserve it or something. Okay. Clearly, this is all just projection. I don't see Cancer being the one to initiate anything like this. I see Cancer being the one simply having to, again, say goodbye to people who have been doing this. And the thing about Capricorn season, it's a very unforgiving. It's cold, and it's karmic as well. It has that karmic element to it sometimes. Not always. I don't want to say that Capricorn is the only karmic sign, but it certainly has that ability to sever and to end and to officially create, and I say death like metaphorically, okay, actual like killing things off in our lives that really have no place in where we're going. So Capricorn season can get kind of brutal sometimes, and I feel like Cancer, you're going to have to tap into the brutalness of the season just to kind of ensure that you can take this voyage without complication. All right, let's go ahead and see what comes through. Now, we're going to pull out clarifiers. So we're going to open up all these cards. We're going to pull out an additional 27 and go really hard in on each of these and kind of get more information. So if you want to join, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards in the comprehensive reading. So the link for that will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. Okay. All right, Cancer. Let's see what Temperance has to say. What is it that Cancer needs to know about Temperance? Wish is coming true. Another Queen of Swords. Love that. Seven of Coins. Yeah, it's all very logical. Seven of Swords. Page of Swords. Three of Swords. Eight of Cups. Two of Cups. And an Emperor. It's a very interesting combination right there. Okay, Three of Cups. Ace of Swords, King of Cups. Seven of Wands. And that Two of Swords is coming out a lot this month. Two of Coins. King of Wands, Ten of Cups, Six of Wands. Now for the Five of Swords. Another Four of Wands. Hermit. Another Hermit. King of Coins. I like the King energy a lot. Eight of Wands. Knight of Swords. Five of Coins. And last but not least, Hierophant. The World, and the Eight of Swords. All right, Cancer. This is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are welcome. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Have a great December, and I'll talk to you soon.